Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday to you all. I can see you in the chat over here. We have our faithful warriors. Monday night, I tell you, I really appreciate the support. It's really nice to keep having you come back. Come back for more. Come back for more. We're glad to have you. My name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach, and I help you to identify, process, and untangle your emotions. Welcome. Okay, right from the beginning, please share this video with someone you think that could enjoy and benefit from it. You can just press share and it'll go right to them. They can come on over right now. Okay. And again, appreciate the support. We really strive to give good quality information here, quality care to you, answer your questions. It's all with love. We're building a beautiful community. It's really exciting to see it grow. And it's so nice to have you a part of the growth and come along with us from the ground up. Let me just say hi to everybody. I have my darling husband in the back. Roxy Ebony, hey, PJ, you're in Springfield, Mass now. Nice to have you, Dr. Jessel. There she goes. Hello, Fabi Boo, good evening. Good to have you all here. We're going to start part 2 of the humiliation wound. Got a little candle for you, give a nice little vibe to relax us and make us feel good. We're all in this together. At me best. Hello, good evening. Hi, that's a new name. It's good to have you. Very nice to have you. Welcome, welcome. At me best, can you let us know where you're tuning in from? We always like to have new people around here. It's Ari. Hey, welcome, Ari. Good to have you. She's my neighbor. She's right here in New York. Okay, so let's get started. We want to talk about this wound of humiliation. We started last week. We discussed how it starts. A caregiver, a parent humiliates us in front of others, mocks us, makes fun of us. We share a secret with mom, and at the dinner table with all the family, she decides to divulge all the information, right? So I just have to say this, Elvin, can you turn your volume down, please? I can hear you from out here. It's distracting. Thank you. He's in the back. Um, um, and so the person that should be the main protector of you humiliates you. That's very distressing, very disturbing. Or it can be a parent says, you're fat. Or why are you comparisons, name calling, berating you, all those things lead a child to have the wound of humiliation. Very understandable because again, the very person that should be protecting you is humiliating you, and it's usually in front of a crowd, family, friends. And of course, it's not appreciated and it marks the person. Okay, Leah, you're here. Hey, good to have you. So, do you suffer from the humiliation wound? And of course, if you want more information, last week we really delved into different scenarios of what leads into the humiliation wound. We're going to discuss some more of it today and then how to heal from it, start the healing process. But of course, we need to be able to look ourselves in the mirror and identify our childhood wounds so that we know what to work on, right? So, do you suffer from the humiliation wound is the question. Perhaps last week you were like, maybe, or you were like, oh yeah, right? But here are some other scenarios. Perhaps you keep choosing partners or friends that humiliate you. Or maybe you find that you keep doing things for others. Do, overextend or extend, and they don't even appreciate it. Do you feel guilty treating yourself? Everybody else enjoys doing something nice for themselves. You have the money, the means, and you just like, oh, because you don't feel worthy. Hey, Yolanda, good to have you. It's good to have you here. Glad you're here. So if any of these resonate with you, you're more than likely suffering from the wound of humiliation. It's a loss of pride. which leads to a state of surrender or submission. It's where someone is made to feel embarrassed or ashamed. Uh, Even at the blackboard in school, and the teacher berates you for making a mistake at the board in front of the whole class, right? Again, or a parent makes fun of you in front of other people. So maybe you remember a time that something like that happened to you, you were laughed at, people may have deliberately humiliated you at times, a parent may have called you names in front of others. Any of those experiences could be responsible for the humiliation wound. It's a hey girl, good to see you. So how does the humiliation wound show up? In different ways. Let's talk about it. Okay. And you could take some notes and you can listen as well. And just think, is this me? Does this, because see if you're looking in the mirror. So you frequently feel ashamed of yourself. It might be that you get involved in situations that make you feel ridiculous, or you choose partners who humiliate or belittle you, or we even talked earlier, or even friends. Another scenario, you don't allow yourself to go at your own pace. This was very, really interesting. You might feel that you're going either too slow or too fast, or you might feel ashamed for not being able to reach the same pace as others. Like others are always ahead of you and you can't seem to keep up, and you feel humiliated because of that. People pleasing, you have a tendency to give way too much to other people, and you put aside your own needs for others and you do everything for them. I don't remember if we've talked about it here, but definitely with a lot of my clients, I talk about that, the ego. We're going to have to do a whole live about the ego, how it gets involved in pushing us to do. But the reason is why. And on the outside, it looks like she's such a nice person. She's so giving. But the ego is really motivating us to do it. And it's for very selfish reasons. In this case, I'll give you a little hint. It's because you want to feel validated. You've been humiliated. You carry that wound. You feel less than. So if I give my all to people and they give back to me, it will validate me. But sadly, we don't usually get back even a parcel of what we've given because we give way too much and it's not fair. Another thing, you struggle to treat yourself. Buying things of value for yourself is a struggle for you because you don't think you deserve them. You disrespect yourself, you self-deprecate, you put yourself down and blame yourself easily. You may be indecisive and insecure. You worry what other people think of you. And this feeds your people-pleasing tendencies. And again, that leads you to reach out to do more, overextend. It's exhausting. People may criticize you and the criticisms cut deep because you're easily hurt, you're hypersensitive. So you're easily affected by criticism and people not agreeing with you because you read it as humiliation. It could be someone with very good intentions, but you don't see it like that because it cuts, because that wound, that humiliation wound is sitting here wide open. It's so deep, right? You feel responsible for other people's happiness. So you may take charge of things that aren't yours to take charge of. A lot of us here are caregivers of our parents. Our parents could be well, and sometimes we just jump in. I'll take charge, but it leads to us being overwhelmed with the responsibility because it's not ours to have. It's not, we shouldn't be involved in this, right? And what about this one? You don't think you're enough. So again, you do too much, you help too much, feel too much, work too much. You're too nice to make up for not feeling like you're worthy, for not feeling like you're enough. A lot of us, we walk into a room, it's so overwhelming because we can feel and sense things, right? And it's exhausting. So the humiliation wound makes it more likely that you accept all forms of degradation, even self-imposed. And you know that definitely. Andrea and Ramona, hey girls, watching from sunny St. Petersburg, Florida. It's good to have you. It definitely spills over into our inner dialogue. If we're self, right, we degrade ourselves. And sometimes it could be, I'd rather say it, I'm going to say it before someone else says it. So we're constantly talking about our weight. We're too skinny. We're too fat. We're overweight. I need to work out. I need to change my diet or whatever else. I need to be more disciplined. My house is this. I can't do this. I'll say it before they say it, right? We're so used to the humiliation. And then, of course, if we say it to ourselves, then when others say it to us, even though it hurts, we're used to it and we just accept it. So here are some more telltale signs that you might have this wound. And I do it in sections like this because people are spilling in little by little. You don't feel worthy of being loved, not genuinely. And that could lead you to attracting the wrong type of people, people that mistreat you. You don't take good care of yourself, your body, your appearance. If you're harassed or bothered, instead of being upset, you say, it must have been something that I did. It must be my fault. You're overly afraid of punishment or negative consequences, and that holds you back from doing things, even taking risks, normal risks in life. But no, something may and so may not like that, so I'm not going to do that. And rather than take charge, you often leave things, I'll just let it run its course. I'll just let things take their own way. Interesting, right? So the humiliation wound can trigger the following negative feelings and fears: fear of other people's negative opinions, unable to express an opinion in fear of rejection. You're having a conversation with your spouse or a loved one or a friend or your boss or a superior at work, and you have a different point of view, but you hold back because then they may reject me. You have feelings of worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness, and then you feel self-hate or fear of other people. And it could lead to hating others as well, because of course you have to keep people at bay because you don't trust. Because if your very own parents humiliated you as a child, then what would you expect of others in the world? If my own parents feel that way about me, what do they feel, right? So there are certain behaviors that are imposed on a person who suffers from humiliation. Not everyone suffers every experience. Not everyone will adopt those attitudes, but depending on the depth of the wound, it can come out. There are two things. From the character point of view, the you know how each wound has a mask. Well, the wound of humiliation is the masochist, right? The masochist. I suffer. I was born to suffer. This is my lot in life. However, the mask is a cheerful, helpful, generous person. He puts everyone else at ease. It's generally a pleasure to be in this person's company. Why? Because all they do is give, 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 give. They want everyone to be comfortable around them. The second thing, there's a conflict. Let's see if you can see the conflict. Freedom is what the person with the humiliation wound wants. They want freedom from, it's like they're imprisoned with this wound because a person that's humiliated, head down, right? Walking, they don't face the world, they give to the world, they get used by the world. They're self-loathing. So all they want is freedom from that. Because if he feels free, he has no limits. Because he's limited, he doesn't say what he wants to say. Quiet, I got to keep it to myself, right? So all he wants is freedom. But here's the conflict. There's always a conflict. If he lets go, in quotes, lets go, lifts his head high, takes on the world, takes risks. You know, in life you have to take risks, do new things. Or if he does that, he could risk humiliation. So he holds back. Isn't that interesting? Let me know in the comments. Does that resonate with you? Do you understand the conflict? Just, you could put yes, yes, yes. You could put yes. The person is a masochist inside, but the Mask is cheerful, helpful, generous person. I'm here to help everyone and make their life easier. But that's a heavy load. I don't feel worthy of life. So I just give, 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 give. But if I could just be free, if I could let it all go and lift my head up and walk in the world like I deserve to be here, like I'm worthy, if I could accept that promotion, if I could take that risk, if I could travel to that place, I would be free. But if I let go, I might get humiliated. Isn't that interesting? That's deep. Okay, I see a lot of Olanda, you're here. Hey, I see a lot of yeses. So you're getting it. Isn't that interesting? So you stay like this, head down, body scrunched up, existing to take care of other people. Yeah. So let's talk about the attitudes and behaviors. Very interesting how behavior is linked with this wound. One behavior, Leah says, and wanting making others feel comfortable resonates. Yeah, it's all about everybody else. But what about me? All the all of the wounds make us do in different ways, shapes, and forms, right? All of them motivate us to neglect ourselves. But this one with the masochist is above and beyond to exhaustion. Then, of course, we're not doing the things that we need to do for ourselves. So when there's something for us, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to organize my room. I don't have time to do, I don't have, but it's that all the time is being used for everybody else. What about you? Okay. So look at this behavior of the masochist. A lot of us struggle with this. The masochist compensates and rewards himself with food. His favorite foods are high in fat and sugar. The wound of humiliation can generate compulsive snacking behaviors throughout the day because it's a nervousness, right? It's a, I'm not worthy. I'm here. I lack so much. I attract the wrong people into my life who continue to humiliate me and keep me in that space. And so food no longer serves to nourish us, but it becomes a refuge. Again, you're like this. So the food is a refuge. But the person is not at all comfortable with his diet, right? So he's ashamed of himself because obviously, if you eat like that, you're going to gain weight. And it's a vicious cycle. And his physical body grows. And then the humiliation continues to grow. It stays there. Because now when I look in the mirror, what do I see? I see a body that I'm not happy with, but I keep feeding it these things because food is a comfort, it's a refuge. Because the world is not a safe place. Again, if mommy and daddy didn't make me feel safe, how could the world make me feel safe? Okay. Masochists are rather slow in their movements and they hate acting in a hurry. So when time is of the essence, they can panic easily. Rushing is just not their thing. It's a difficulty. Um, it's often experienced too as a shame of not being up to it, not having it, the goal, the bandwidth to get up and go. Again, trying to keep up with others because we feel we can't. PJ says, if the head is down, rarely looks in the mirror, of course. Why would I? Deep. It's a very, very deep wound. So that's why it's so important for us to examine so we can know if this is something we're dealing with. And then, yep, Renee, hey, Renee, vicious cycle, definitely. So the masochist knows their needs well, but refuses to meet them. They have a knack for creating situations where they have to take care of somebody else. They do everything to make themselves useful. Imagine they're generous, they're loving, they're great. Oh, he's the greatest person. But sometimes they go so far as to take care of others, sometimes without them even asking for it. The other person didn't even ask. Here I am. What you need? Because if I can create those situations where these people or this person needs me, I don't have to take care of myself because I'm not worthy of meeting my own needs. Isn't that sad? We've all been there. I've been there. But that's why we're here, so that we can do better, so we can take better care of ourselves. Orlando says attracting wrong people resonates. Yeah. And we're not even aware of this stuff. It's all back here in our subconscious mind. Roxy Ebony says, yeah, they're saviors. Of course. I'll save the world, but I won't save myself. I refuse to because I'm not worthy. So here's again, why is the person doing all this? Because they want the recognition of other people. But the interesting part is they usually help people that will never even say thank you. Because you're attracted to the wrong type of people and you're pushing yourself on people. They haven't asked for the help. I'm here. What can I do? Or I'll do this for you. So they never get the recognition that they so desperately want. And another striking behavior is that the masochist or the person with the humiliation wound creates situations where he humiliates himself. So others don't humiliate him. Like, I'll do it first. Before you do it, I'll do it to myself. When you look at it from that point of view, right? You can have sympathy for and compassion for that person in your life, or if it's you, and you could say, oh, right? So how do we cure this panic fear of the feeling of shame? How do we do it? Well, the good news in all of this is that it's never too late to heal, right? We can get rid of that masochistic mask to finally be your true self and consider life and its relationships with others in a new way. Look at it from a different angle, not what can I give the world so that I can feel worthy? No, healing your wound, you healing your wound. Because when we're doing for others, we're waiting for that, excuse me, we're waiting for the feedback, for the approval. You're the best thing ever. Thank you so much. What would I do without you? Which we rarely get. But any little barely small crumb of that, we're grateful for because we're looking for approval from the outside, which leads to a lot of disappointment. But when we heal our wound, notice it's me doing it, I'm doing the work, then we become less dependent on others emotionally. I don't need to do for you to feel that I have some type of worth. I know my worth. I do for you because I love you. I do for you because I can, because you asked and I'm available and I want to. All right, let's do this thing. But not because I do it, because I want you to. No. Mm-mm. So you free yourself emotionally because you're not dependent on the outside world, on anyone out there to validate who you are and your worth. Isn't that beautiful? The freedom. I had a client the other day, she's working on this stuff. And I said, how do you feel? Because she used to do. Now she's learning to say no, because like that I really can't do that. It would be way too much. But before she would feel so bad, she still had a twinkling of guilt, but she knew that she had made the right decision to say no. And I said, how do you feel? She said, I feel liberated, Karen. I was like, yes. It's liberating when you don't depend on others to care for you emotionally. You care for yourself emotionally. It is such a beautiful thing. You don't have to save others. People don't need saviors. We need to save ourselves. Okay? Very important. So if we repress our painful memories, right, from the past, from childhood, a lot of times people have blocked so many things they don't even remember. They anchor themselves, those memories anchor themselves deeply in our unconscious. And the risk is that one day the pain will become too much to handle. So we could even be walking around with these memories blocked, right? We can't pull it up, we can't remember them, but they're weighing us down. And that's where depression and anxiety comes in. Exhaustion, just pure exhaustion, irritation. I can't handle this. And I'm convinced that a lot of times when we feel that it's menopausal symptoms, that we are so irritable, and I honestly think a part of it is hormonal, but a lot of it is the body's like, I've been carrying this around for decades. I can't take this anymore. It's just way too much to bear. It's too much to carry. It's too much to handle on a daily basis. So we're irritable. We're depressed. We're sad. We're exhausted. We can't do. We lose our wherewithal. We lose our luster for life. We lose our desire to travel, to do things that we used to love doing. We lose it because it's just, we're done. Our body, because our minds, we supposedly forget, but our subconscious mind still has it there. It's a computer back there. So by confronting the feeling of humiliation that we've experienced with our mother or whoever the person was that played that role in our life, when we confront those feelings and the memories and how each memory, what we felt, masochists will be able to release all that energy that they accumulate in their body. And they'll be able to use it to build their lives by simply, you know where the freedom is, the liberation? They'll build their lives by being themselves, being their authentic selves. How beautiful to walk out in the world with the attitude of, here I am. Of course, we're always going to try to be better. We're always going to work on ourselves. We're all a work in progress. But to be happy with who I am as a person, to recognize that I'm really a good person. This group here is amazing. Renee said the body always has the final say. Yes, it does. And Olanda says, oh, wow. Yeah. So, you know, I got some quotes on authenticity. Look at this one. I love this. Authenticity is the truest form of rebellion. Mike Robbins. um, Sometimes we rebel against our parents in different ways that we're not even aware of in our adult life. Um, but why don't we rebel so that we could be our truest selves and show up in the world as we truly are, not with a mask, not with a costume, but just who we really are, because people will love us for who we are. Jill says menopause is screaming for you to heal or end up in a straitjacket. Laugh out loud. Yes. It's a time in our lives where there's just a lot that we're just not going to do anymore. And the body is screaming, stop. Recognize me for who I am. Can I get some credit for who I am in my core? Yeah, I'm imperfect, but so is everybody else too. So how do we deconstruct this thing? How do we heal? Well, it comes through experimentation more than intellectual understanding. I'm going to say that again. Healing comes through experimentation more than intellectual understanding, because you can listen to this video 5 times, you can read books on it, but you have to do the work. Try it out. Try to go out in the world as your authentic self and see what happens. Just try for 15 minutes. The more we give ourselves the right to be masochistic, the less we'll do it in the future. So when you realize that you're masochistic and you're like, oh, I'm just a glutton for punishment, the less we'll do it in the future. So 3 steps to deconstruct this wound pattern. become aware of the mask that you wear. Self-awareness is everything. If you don't know what you got going on, you can't work on it, right? Number two, give yourself the right to have suffered from humiliation and to have resented one or both of your parents, whoever did it to you. We feel so bad, but they did the best they could. They other than that, they were really good parents. Give yourself, oh, we know that. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody has a manual on how to be parents. They were bound to make mistakes, but you have the right to not be happy with the mistakes they made on you, right? Give yourself the right to have resented or presently resent a parent. My mother did that. I can't believe she used to say the nastiest things to me. Or my dad used to say it, and then my mom wouldn't say a word to take up from me. And then think of yourself as a child. If you have a picture of yourself as a child, please take it out, find it, look for it, ask your mom, ask an auntie. That pivotal age, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, so much happens during that time. And that's when we become aware that our parents are not perfect. And it's disappointing. We want to look at that picture and be compassionate with ourselves. Poor baby. Look how little she was. Look how little I was. And my mom said that to me. My mom did that to me. My father said that, did that. And when we have compassion for ourselves, we let go by having compassion for that parent as well. Because then we realize, all right, yeah, we felt the pain of what they did to us. We felt the resentment. But then coming out of it, we can say, their parents probably did the same things to them. Or, yeah, I used to see grandma humiliate my mom in front of us, right? We can have more compassion for the parents. And number three, become yourself again by ceasing to believe that wearing a mask is vital for protection. You don't need protection anymore because you're grown. You can protect yourself, but you don't need protection. Integrate that life is only a sum of experiences that serve to learn what is good for you. So again, you have to get out and experience things to heal. It's not just book knowledge. You try this, you try that. If it doesn't work, you try something else. It's not a failure, it's an experience. And then you find out what's good for you. You know the type of unhealthy people that you've attracted in the past. So now you try to see them coming from a distance and you say, okay, I'm attracted to, I want to be with that person. That person intrigues me for what, but they're not, that type of person is not good for me. So I'm going to close that door and I'm going to go over here to this person that she's too nice. She's too, like, but that's the person that you need. So you try it out and you see how you feel. It may be uncomfortable because you're so used to the humiliation, you're so used to the pain, but it's worth a try. And that's how the healing begins. It's a trial and error, right? But not really error because it's not a mistake. It's a trial and experience. That's what we'll call it. Take the mask off. You don't need protection anymore. You're not a little girl or boy. Oh, Elvin says, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Elvin. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, that would help. Imani, hey. Yes. Okay. So the wound of humiliation is in the process of healing when we begin to assert ourselves, to take that place that's ours. You can imagine a dinner party, like I'm sitting at my table. It has it's 6 chairs, right? Imagine we're all here and there are 7 of us. The person with humiliation will probably say, no, no, I'll get my plate. I'll sit over there on the couch. But when you're in the process of healing, you say, ooh, you got an extra chair? I want to sit at the table with everybody else. I know I belong. You don't push your way in. But yeah, it's a confidence, it's a self-love, and then everybody can benefit from you. And you take in, you don't only give. And when you give to the person that really deserves it. So it's interesting, masochists what I read up on it, they're very fortunate because they're people who are most aware of their own needs. But remember, before, the masochist or the person with the humiliation wound knows their needs, very aware of them, but refuses to give it to themselves. But that's an advantage. It's a superpower because you know your needs. And instead of pushing against it, you could say, all right, I'll give you some. Again, experiment. Let yourself free from the head down, body curled up, shame, humiliation, pain. Try to be kind to yourself. Try to be nice, loving, because you know what you need. Some wounds prevent us from even knowing what do I need, what do I like. But the masochist knows. Okay. That's why they're usually outstanding mediators and organizers because they know and intimately understand the needs and respect and freedom of each person. Very interesting. But now I encourage you, let's flip it onto yourself. You were like that, give, 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 give. Let's give to ourselves. What a beautiful thing. Let me take a sip of water. Does anybody have a comment? You can put it in the chat. Feel free. So let's talk about some quotes on authenticity. Brene Brown says authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. How beautiful. I'll say it again. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Take that mask off. Be authentic. Be you. You don't have to be the person that lights up the room. A lot of people that wear that mask of humiliation, they're the class clown. They're the person that comes in and they're the life of the party. Mm. But inside they are so, so sad. They're the comedians. Most comedians have very sad lives and they've turned it into comedy and they love making other people laugh. So they turned it and they made a career out of it. But we're not getting paid to entertain people. Stop it. It's not necessary. Your presence, who you are, the essence of who you are is enough. You're probably very intelligent. Remember we did that little thing, that little homework assignment, asking 3 people in your life to tell you 3 good qualities that you have, or at least one person, 3 good qualities. Some of you it was very difficult to hear, but when you gave us the responses and those that I knew, it's like, oh yeah, I totally agree. And it was like, oh, that's hard to hear, right? For some of us, it's very difficult to accept compliments. We don't think we're worthy of it. But to be authentic, it's a daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be. Some fantasy person, some perfect person out there, but we can't be perfect right now. And it's okay. But our basic, genuine qualities are really good. We all have really good qualities. Here's another one. Janet Louise Stevenson says, authenticity requires vulnerability, transparency, and integrity. It does. Vulnerability, transparency, and integrity. Steve Maraboli says the greatest gift you can give yourself is permission to be yourself. And you may say, I don't even know who I am. How do I find myself? Good question. Ask that question to other people. How do others view you? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And that can get you on the path to figuring out who you really are as a person. Who is your authentic self? Yeah. Steve Jobs said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life, right? That's a reminder to pursue your own passions, goals. Recognize that living life authentically is essential for finding personal development, personal fulfillment, and leaving a meaningful impact on the world. I'm sorry, a meaningful impact on the world. I was talking to a client the other day. The career that she has worked at for decades is not something she wanted. It's something that her mother wanted her to do. She can't stand it. So she's living someone else's life. She's living her mom's life. That was the responsible thing to do. All right, well, it served its purpose, but let's find out what your passion is. And the great thing is she already knows what it is. Like, what? Let's see how we can incorporate this into your life now. You're still responsible, but let's get that passion. Let's do it. Inject some life into your life. We don't want to waste our time living somebody else's life. Here's another one that I love. Tara Brach, Brach. Being real means allowing yourself to be flawed, silly, and imperfect. Isn't that cute? We are imperfect. The perfection does not exist, not right now. We're flawed, but let's enjoy our flaws. Yeah, it's who we are. And the people that love us, and they want us genuinely, and they want us to come as we are. They don't care what kind of car we drive, what we're dressed in. They just love, if we have good friends, good people around us, they love us flawed and all, right? So we have to embrace our flaws and imperfections, allow ourselves to be imperfect, cultivate self-compassion and acceptance, create space for personal growth, and nurture authentic relationship with others. If I have my friends because of the car that I drive, I'm not authentic, and they're not authentic relationships. But if I have friends, no matter what my station in life is, no matter what the car that I drive, the year that it is, or the clothes that I wear, those are authentic relationships. And most of us have them, but some really struggle with that. And it could be because you're not being your authentic self, but you can do it. Yeah, enjoy your flaws. Yeah. And in regards to what Pam mentioned, can we start looking in the mirror for those who find it very difficult? Can we start? It's really important to look ourselves in the mirror and say, I love you. Pick your head up. That's the homework assignment for this week. And say, I love you. Look in the mirror, flaws and all, because you're beautiful. You really are. You got this. All right. We can do this. Okay. So I wanted to remind you to check out the membership. We had the little video in the beginning of the live. Check out the membership that we have in English. You just press the join button below. We're going to be very soon sending out a poll in the WhatsApp chat. If you're not a part of the WhatsApp chat, please get on it. Alejandro, por favor, el enlace. Alejandro's going to put it in the chat right now. If you're not a part of the chat, please join it. We're going to be sending out a poll or two to see what your needs are, what your wants are, so we can put content in that special section exclusive for members, so we can put up the content and provide the content that you're looking for. For those that are seeing this on the replay, you can see right below, you'll see in the notes, you'll see the WhatsApp link. Please press on it, join it. We would love to have you there. Okay. Also, all my contact information, my email, my Instagram, the chat, there are all kind of ways to find me. If you want to have a one-on-one coaching session with me, feel free to reach out in any of those ways, and I'll get in touch with you right away. All right. Love you all. Have a fabulous night. Renee says, had a friend who would look in the mirror and say, hey, Fox, oh, that's cute. And then there's a singer. She has a song, Hello Gorgeous, right? That's all I know. I never really listened to the song, but that's another nice one. Hello Gorgeous, right? And simply, I love you. Keep up the good work. Be free. There's all kind of things we could say to ourselves, very positive affirmations, because we're good people and we need to. Mary J. Blige, yeah. So now I'm gonna go and listen to the song. But yeah, good stuff, right? And we want to remember, surround ourselves with authentic people who love us, that don't want to suck us dry. They just want us to be who we are. They accept us flaws and all. How much more so should we? And when we do, we move through the world in such a different way. We kind of glide through because we know what to avoid. So those experiences serve us. We know what type of person to avoid. I used to be very attracted to complicated people. They just intrigued me. Now I'm like, it's too much. What? Too much work. I don't, it, that, no. I want to do stuff that I love like this. Passion, things that I'm passionate about, not dig in and dive over there that leads to nothing. No, no, no. So those experiences help us to know what to avoid and what to go towards. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Imani says, have a good evening. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you all here. Big hugs. Y'all know I love you. See you next week. And please, in the chat, get in there. We're going to do the poll. And you know what? Let's do a homework assignment. If you, no, we'll do that another time. It's okay. But I'm thinking of something else, but if you could do something you want to say to yourself in the mirror, hello, gorgeous. Hey, Fox, love you. Put it in the chat. All right, let's share that tonight and tomorrow. All right. Big hugs. Love you guys. Mwah. Happy Monday. See you soon. Bye.
Hello, hello. My name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach. I help you learn how to identify, process, and untangle those emotions that we all deal with on a daily basis. Vimes Life now has a membership for the English-speaking audience. It's really good news. So let me tell you 5 benefits that you gain by joining the membership. The first one is you get videos made monthly exclusively for you, those who are part of the membership. Number 2, once a month you get a live Zoom with me so we can interact. I can teach you, comfort you, and answer your questions. It'll be really nice. Number 3, you get a separate chat exclusively for those within the membership. 4th benefit, you get special stickers when you interact in the chat on YouTube Live. When we're live on Mondays, your name will have a little special sticker next to it to identify you as one of the members of the membership. And number 5, last but not least, you get special discounts on our courses. So you say, well, how do I sign up? Right below, right by the subscribe button, we hope you subscribe. Right by the subscribe button, there's a circle. It's white inside, black lettering. It says join. Press that. You'll see the first 3 options are for the Spanish audience with Spanish speaking coaches. Mine is the last one, and guess what it's called? Vimes Life Inner Circle. So come on into my inner circle so we can get to know each other better and I can help you and coach you. I'll see you soon. Bye now.